During party season, it's usually the type of food that you can grab with your fingers and eat, because it's usually cocktail parties or snacks and having drinks with snacks. So it's quick and easy to grab foods. And something like these salty pretzels or a bag of chips is the quickest and easiest to put out. The problem with these two is something like pretzels, which is high sodium, and your chips, which is high sodium and high fat. And so we want to find a healthier alternative. A great option is something like popcorn, which is in fact a whole grain carbohydrate, unrefined, and if we make it at home, we can also control the amount of salt that we add to it. One of the key things to remember though with popcorn is that 1.5 cups of popcorn is a portion. So even with healthy foods, portion control is essential. Nothing is free. Nuts are one of your most dangerous culprits. Reason being is that they are very, very kilojoule dense, so very high in kilojoules, and they of course are often salted, so high in sodium as well. And the other thing people don't realize is that portion control is essential. So for peanuts, a measly 10 is the recommended portion. As we all know, that's really difficult to stick to, and it's usually a couple of handfuls later that we realize we've had enough. So a better alternative would be something like pistachio nuts. These, as you all know, are hard work to eat, so you've got to unwrap every single one, and the correct portion for pistachio nuts is about 9. So although it's a better option, portion control is still essential. The hidden salts and the hidden fats are often found in your processed food, so your very convenient food. So anything that's kind of packaged and could probably last on your shelf for a few months or in your fridge for a few months, it's probably going to be quite high fat and high in sodium. When it comes to dips, try to avoid something like your commercial dips which tend to be a bit higher in fat and higher in sodium, and rather take a little bit of extra time and make your own dip, which could be something like a guacamole or a lovely tomato salsa. Often during the festive season, we don't really feel like cooking, and so we generally turn to a nice, easy, fast food option. Now, if you look at this meal, it's your typical takeaway of a burger and chips. And then what we end up doing is taking the sachets of salt and adding that to it as well. So this type of meal ends up being very high sodium and high fat. This meal would probably set you back about 6,500 kilojoules. Now, it doesn't mean that takeaways are completely forbidden, but a great option is to perhaps leave out the fries and take the top bun off the burger. That would probably help take down the kilojoules to about 2,000 and add a little salad in as well. One of the biggest problem areas that I think a lot of us battle with is during the festive season, we go into carb overload, and often we're choosing very refined, processed carbs, which are low in fiber and quite often high in sodium. In fact, for South Africans with bread, it's one of the highest contributors to our sodium intake. So replacements for it is looking at your high fiber products, so such as your high fiber crackers are a great option. Something like baby potatoes with the skin on. Making an effort to cut down on those foods and eliminate, for example, the salt or adding salt to your foods, your taste buds adapt. It's just a matter of sticking it out for a little bit of time.